Um, hold on, let me just get hey. So anyway, guys, what's going on? Um, so today I made my own tarot cards for you guys. I thought they were more. I think they're more, helpful. First, let's start out with what kind of personality you're dealing with right now that you're having problems with. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day. And, sometimes these things are more relevant in our. Okay, it looks like you're dealing with a dependent person. Fear of separation, or maybe you're dependent and you have a fear of separation. Uh, guys, you shouldn't be dependent on anyone but yourself. Um, for love, for everything. Um, even in a marriage, even when you're at work, you should be dependent on yourself. Not dependent on others. Other people can't always help you. Okay. Um, this dependent person, what are they doing? What are they doing? Now, I'm assuming that this is another person that you're dealing with, maybe a person at the office, maybe a relationship, maybe a family member. But they have a fear of separation, constant criticism. Maybe you're feeling constant criticism from this person and they're disguising their insults as constructive feedback. When you're dealing with someone who is they're trying to disguise their insults as constructive criticism, you have to either confront them or safely exit. Either you're going to confront them or you're going to safely exit. Um, One way you can confront them, it can be quietly within. You can confront people in your own mind. Actually, you don't always have to, confront people up front. You can build a support system and still be confronting someone. You can have healthy, equal emotional balance with your support system. Healthy relationships equal emotional balance. This dependent person on you, they want you to have an unequal emotional balance because they're putting all the pressure on you. Being dependent upon you to do everything, it puts a lot of pressure on someone, especially if you're unable to do that and you need to exit that relationship or confront them. Okay. How is this person, how are they dependent upon them? How are they This person is very nosy. Do you have a very nosy person in your life? Is it a family member? Is it a coworker? Is it a partner? Someone who's very, very nosy. Uh, Nosy people are easy to deal with, guys. They're not that bad. These cards are good. These cards are good. You know what I mean? Guilt tripping. Are you experiencing a lot of guilt tripping? Making others feel guilty for their negative emotions. Okay? Are you experiencing some guilt tripping? Um, and they're making you feel guilty for their negative emotion. So they're negative all the time and they're telling you that they're negative because of you. No, that person is negative because they're thinking negative thoughts. They have something negative in their own brain And it could be this person that's dependent upon you. You know what I mean? They're and that's why they are dependent upon you, because they're so negative they can't even think of a way to be dependent upon themselves. They're so negative they can't even figure out a way to be dependent upon themselves. So they're using you as a way to stay afloat, stay above water. I'm moving on to the next. Um, Obsessive compulsive obsession with control. Maybe, and I don't want to use cleaning up all the time, because if somebody's cleaning up all the time, it can become negative when they try to flip it and say you're not doing anything. Um, it's best, you don't want to leave someone because they're OCD. Sometimes OCD is good because, you can expect a clean environment, right? And they can help you out, but you can help out an OCD person by buying them their cleaning products. And you can get the cleaning products from the Dollar Tree. I love this cleaning product. It's all natural. So yeah, if you're dealing with an OCD person, but it's not always just cleaning. Sometimes people are obsessively controlled with how you may act, and they just want to control the way you act. That could be a situation where you need to exit safely, because you can never satisfy that person, because they will always be controlling you, and you'll never be acting the way they want you to all the time, because you can't read minds, right? We can't read minds. Love bombing. Okay, are you experiencing a lot of love bombing? Too nice, too early? That's a situation, that's a red flag. Love bombing, it can't, it can never be, you know, something that you want to go with, because eventually it's gonna stop and you're gonna say, hey, this isn't who you were in the beginning. And I know not everyone can always be, well, I feel like anyone can always be who they were in the beginning if you weren't wearing a mask, right? If you were nice in the beginning, you're always going to be nice. But if they're just nice in the beginning and mean later on, they're love bombing you. And you need to exit that situation. You can confront them, but what will you be changing about them? Because they're hiding themselves not only from you, but from others around, because they're trying to achieve their agenda. And they've probably been living their whole lives like that, love bombing everyone just so they can get ahead. So it's best to just confront them and then exit that situation. That's what the spirit is telling me, guys. I always just, you know, tell people, hold on, let's move. Oh, stonewalling just came up. Stonewalling. Are you experiencing stonewalling right now? Stonewalling is a punishment, guys, by shutting down communication. Stonewalling and the silent treatment are kind of similar. The silent treatment sometimes is shorter than stonewalling, but stonewalling, it's hurtful. And you're going to deal with it the same way, guys. Confront them or exit early. But we're going to ask the spirit to give us extra setting boundaries. So with the stonewalling, you need to set boundaries. I won't tolerate stonewalling. If you stonewall me, I will do this. I will have a consequence for you. Danielle, you're saying ASSSSSSS in the comments. Are you experiencing stonewalling? Are you stonewalling someone else? If you are stonewalling someone else for a reason, you're trying to not communicate with them for a particular person, you're trying to protect yourself. That's okay. That's okay if you're stonewalling someone to protect yourself, but when you're stonewalling someone to punish them, to control them, to get them to act a certain way, now you're being manipulative. You're being manipulative. Being manipulative, it comes with embarrassment. You can end up being embarrassed later on by being manipulative, because people are what? Nosy. They tell other people tell other people. Nothing is ever kept between just two people. Remember that. Once you tell another person, you need to expect at least 20 other people to are going to know that. No matter who you tell, they're going to. So, and that's why we shouldn't do embarrassing things, because when we do embarrassing things, that we and not embarrassing things, but we shouldn't do the manipulation, stonewalling people to manipulate them and to control them. That comes with a lot of and some people become what? Antisocial, lack empathy for others. Now, some people think antisocial is just staying inside all day, but antisocial, you could be out with a whole bunch of people and not talk to anyone and not, and that's antisocial. Or you could be with one person and they trip and fall and you don't even care. That would be a lack of empathy. That would be antisocial, to not care about someone else. Okay, Danielle, we might have to put you in timeout, dear, because we can't use the bad language. We have to be more educated when communicating with others. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I did make these cards myself. I really just wanted to give people, something different. And we talked about stonewalling. We talked transactional kindness. Okay, offering help to use it as leverage later on. Remember that time I helped you? Remember I did this? Transactional kindness is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. When you do something kind, you should just do it out of the goodness of your heart and leave it there. You don't have to keep reminding that person over and over again what you did for them. And you don't have to try to get someone else to do something for you because you were kind to them. That's wrong too. Loud for hours, being loud for hours. Guys, that's very inconsiderate. It's very inconsiderate to be loud for hours. It's okay to be loud sometimes, but for hours, are you dealing with a person that's borderline personality, intense, fear of abandonment? Whenever I think about the people who are dependent, borderline, fear of abandonment, what I think about are people who always had to perform in their families to get love. These are hurt people. These are sad people. These are people who had to do something great or be really silly to get attention. And sometimes the way you can deal with those people is, sometimes you just got to trust your perception and journal events. You don't have to tell the person, confront a person on everything. You can just trust your perception, journal your events. Your reality is being twisted, and that person, sorry guys, I was looking at a comment. But let's go back to the borderline person, intense fear of abandonment. Yeah, and if you are a borderline person, your fear of being left, you have to understand, why are you scared to be left? You know what I mean? All you need is yourself. You don't need anyone else. If someone leaves you and they don't want to be with you, that's okay. That's okay if they don't want to be with you anymore. And you got also, you look just like Stacey Dash. Oh, well, thank you. Is it the gray contacts? But if they don't want to be with you anymore, that doesn't mean they don't want to be with you in the future. You can be a better person in the future and come back. So never feel like you're being abandoned or no longer being loved. Just look at it as a time where you may have to be to yourself for a little bit. You know what I mean? To get to know yourself, because some of us don't even know ourselves because we don't turn off the TV. We don't turn off the music. We don't turn off the games. We don't open a book. We don't learn about personality disorders and psychology. We don't learn about the brain. So we think that our avoidant behaviors are normal, and they are normal sometimes. It's okay to have leisure activity, but to do it for hours and to avoid people, it's sad and it's wrong, and we can be better, right? We can be better. Uh And one way people need to set more boundaries, I won't tolerate this and this will be the consequence. I won't tolerate this and this will be the consequence. Toxic. What happens when you don't journal? What happens when you don't trust what you're living? Trust your reality. What happens when you don't when you think being an avoidant is okay? What happens when we don't build support systems? What happens when we don't get rid of toxic people out of our lives? What happens when we don't disengage from arguments and don't defend ourselves against and we defend ourselves against irrational accusations? What happens then? We become toxic people. We become toxic, making other people toxic, making our children toxic, making our work environment toxic, making our friends uncomfortable or toxic. You know what I mean? Some people wonder, oh, why don't I have friends? You don't have friends because you don't want to fix what's wrong with you. You don't have friends because you don't want to confront yourself. You don't want to exit your bad behaviors. You don't want to stop stonewalling. You don't want to stop transactional kindness. You don't want to stop gaslighting. You don't want to stop constant criticism. You don't want to stop moving the goalposts and never letting a person win. You don't want to stop love bombing. You don't want to stop the silent treatment. You don't want to stop deflecting and projecting. That's how we become toxic. That's how our children become toxic. That's how our environments become toxic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just trying to help people, a little bit because we don't know. I put it on note cards, guys. Um, Sometimes being broke is toxic. Just sitting down, doing nothing, and being broke. Not thinking of ways to make money. Spending too much time on our leisure activities. It's financial neglect. Being broke is financial neglect. It hurts our children. It hurts our families. It hurts our partners. It hurts our work environment because when you broke, you go to work and you're mad at everybody. You got a negative face, and everyone's scared of you. And when you're embarrassed all the time, that hurts your personality as well. Because if you're embarrassed all the time, you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Being nosy all the time in everyone's business. That hurts your ability of having friends. That stops people from wanting to be your friend when you're very nosy, when you're very gossipy. Sexual manipulation. You may be a person who's very good at sex and you manipulate maybe younger people, you know? Or maybe you manipulate people who are easily influenced. Manipulating people who are easily influenced. That's wrong. That can hurt your friendship groups. That can hurt your finances. That can hurt your money opportunities. That hurts your aura that you're putting out into the world. If we believe in this manifestation, we can do anything and manifest, then we can't take advantage of easily influenced people. We can't be obsessive with control and try to control others. We can't be all about ourselves and narcissistic and selfish. We can't be um antisocial and lack empathy for others. We can't be we can't not have no close relationships. You think, okay, I'm a mean person. People think I'm mean, so I'm just not going to have any relationships. You're not going to heal like that. You're going to become worse. I'm fine. I'm doing good. How you doing? Kenny, you? Huh? I'm doing well. I'm just here, trying to get my YouTubes up and trying to just put out a healthy vibration out there and help people understand that, there is such a thing as just being calm and cool and collected and not having a bunch of thoughts running to your head, a bunch of negative thoughts running through your head. Even if you grew up in a negative environment and you learn a not and you know a lot of negative stuff, you can still be a positive person, a kind person, a loving person. You know what I mean? Avoidant. Avoided it. That's a real big one, man. Because some people think if I just avoid it, then it didn't happen. If I avoid it, it didn't happen. And then you get stuck into that. And then you avoid something really, really important, something really, really detrimental. And then you get stuck in avoiding. My dog wants to come in. Let me let my dog in. Ah, So, what's up, guys? What do you guys think? When you're dealing with people like this, should you confront them or exit safely? I think sometimes some people are so stuck into their ways that you gotta exit, and let them fix who they are on their own and you come back later, right? What's up, guys? What's up? What's going on? I don't got my tarot cards anymore, so I made these. I might buy some more though. I'm gonna buy some more tarot cards. But I like these a little bit, because we're all dealing with partners and family members and coworkers and friends, right? We all have those. And we all know a narcissist, someone that's selfish and doesn't want to think about others. They just want to focus on themselves. And I understand that mindset, because in college you have to really focus on yourself. You can't be too all over the place. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. I kind of need to go have some water. Come back. Got a little headache. You know what I mean? Thank you, Larry. I'll be back, guys. Peace.